Okay, hi, my name is Morgan. I'm an occupational therapy student at Governor State University, and today I'm accompanied by my client Jacob for an occupational therapy session, and my dad will be playing the role of Jacob today. So, Jacob is 4 years and 3 months old and was referred to occupational therapy by his physician for hypersensitivity, decreased attention to task, and decreased eye contact. These things are interfering with his occupational performance in the classroom and in the home setting. And just as a note, he has no other prior medical history aside from an allergy to eggs, and he also has a family history of ADHD. My goals for Jacob throughout the duration of his occupational therapy sessions include two short-term goals and one long-term goal in relation to attention to task. So his long-term goal is Jacob will use active listening and demonstrate direction following by completing a full pen and paper task independently after 2 months of receiving occupational therapy services. The first short-term goal is Jacob will stay sitting in his chair for the duration of snack time and with 2 verbal cues within 2 weeks of receiving occupational therapy services. And the last short-term goal is Jacob will engage in conversation with the occupational therapy practitioner for 1 minute, demonstrating eye contact and attentiveness with 2 verbal cues within 2 weeks of receiving occupational therapy services. So like I said, the main area that we will be focusing on in these goals is attention to task. And I will be using 3 different intervention types. The first one is activities. This is selected and designed to support the development of performance skills and performance patterns in order to enhance occupational engagement. So the use of activities will keep Jacob interested and engaged by using tasks that are meaningful and exciting to him personally. The next intervention type that I'll be using is occupations, which is broad and specific daily life events that are personalized and meaningful to Jacob. This will be helpful for him specifically to really make meaning of the activities and have a transfer of skill to the classroom and in the home setting. The last intervention type that I'll be using is self-regulation, which is actions the client performs to target specific client factors or performance skills. It involves active participation of the client and sometimes use of materials to stimulate components of occupations. So this is important for Jacob because in order for him to stay attentive to a task or make meaningful and social connections with his peers, he must first practice self-regulation. There's 3 intervention approaches that I will be using. First one is establish, which is designed to change client variables to establish skill or ability that has not yet developed. So in Jacob's case, he'll be establishing the ability to stay attentive to one task for a period of time. This is something that he has not yet developed or he can expand on. The next approach is maintain, which is designed to provide supports that will allow clients to preserve the performance capabilities that they have regained and that continue to meet their occupational needs. So Jacob will maintain the ability to attend to a task that he already has, but will hopefully increase the amount of time that he's able to do so or expand on the ability that he already has and just improve upon that. The last one is modify, which is finding ways to revise the current context or activity demands or support performance in the natural setting, including compensatory techniques. So we'll be modifying Jacob's school schedule and setting in order to enhance his occupational performance as a student in the classroom. The frame of reference that I will be using is behavior modification. This is important in Jacob's case because it'll look at the antecedent, the behavior, and the consequence. We will analyze the events or actions leading up to a behavior, whether successful, non-successful, preferred, or non-preferred. And then use positive or negative reinforcement to kind of lock in the preferred behavior that we would like to see. And so now we'll get right into the first activity. Okay, so the first activity I have planned for today's session is a visual schedule. This will be implemented into Jacob's daily daily routine at school, and it can also be implemented in the home setting with some education for his caregivers. So the visual schedule uses a maintain and modify approach, which was explained earlier, and the intervention type that it uses is self-regulation. So using the visual schedule throughout Jacob's day will help him better prepare for transitions between activities and stay focused on one activity because he will know exactly how long he must stay attentive for. He will use this schedule throughout the day in order to give him visual reminders for how long an activity is next, which activity is next, and take away the activities that he has already completed as kind of a reward system. Okay, so Jacob has just arrived at school, and we're gonna start off the day by explaining the visual schedule. So Jacob, we have a busy day today. First, you've already arrived off the bus. Do you want to put it in the completed section?
Oh, sure.
You can just take it off. So it would probably be made with laminated, but I don't have those tools at home. Okay, now that you arrived off the bus, you'll put your backpack in your locker. Then we will do free play, circle time. Then you will go to PE. Then we will have a snack, read a book, do math time, have lunch, have another circle time, and then your day is over. You can go to your locker and gather your items, and you'll get back on the bus and go home. And so this can be kind of personalized to the school day. This was just a random one that I made up kind of off the top of my head, and you would tell him for which interval of time. So an example of this might be, pretend he already went to his locker. Okay, Jacob, look, it's time for free play. We'll set the timer for 10 minutes, and once free play is over, it's now time for circle time. So then he would do the free play, and once free play is over, he would then put it over to done. This can also be upgraded or downgraded by using a reward system. So maybe once he completes 3 tasks, he gets some sort of reward that's meaningful to him, whether it's a snack or a desired activity. Or it can be downgraded to maybe have more general photos or less photos, like more grouped together or something, so it's less confusing to him. It can be more detailed, less detailed, whatever his needs are. You can kind of gauge of what he's thinking and how he's responding to it. And this also will keep him attended to his task because he'll be able to see that right now he's doing free play. That's the only task that he's supposed to be doing right now. Once this is over, he can go to circle time, and he will not have to get up or have any distractions during that. And yeah. Okay, so the next activity that I'm going to do with Jacob here is sorting coins. This can also be used with other household school items such as cards, blocks, really whatever you can find that he can sort. The intervention approach to this is establish, and the intervention type is activities, which I explained earlier. So sorting the coins will keep Jacob busy and sitting in his chair at the table for a certain amount of time. He will not be able to leave or get up until he sorts out the desired amount of coins, nickels, dimes, whatever you decide. You can upgrade or downgrade the activity. It might depend on the day, it might depend on the client, whatever their ability is. So this will work on his attention span, and these skills will transfer back into the classroom because when he's at school, he must be sitting and attend to one task in the classroom in order to learn and have better occupational performance. So Jacob, I have these coins, and I'm wondering if you can sort out all of the quarters for me. Can you find the quarters?
The quarters?
Yeah.
There.
Keep going. You didn't find all the quarters.
There, Miss Morgan.
Okay, we're gonna try something different because this activity might have been too challenging for Jacob, or he might just be having an off day, but we're gonna downgrade it a little bit so he has a just right challenge, and so it's not too hard for him where he gets discouraged. Okay, Jacob, the next thing I want you to do is find all of the silver coins for me. Can you do that? Good
There, Miss
job.
Morgan. All done.
Okay, so the way that I downgraded the task, the first time it was a little bit too hard for him. The second time I said sorted it by color. His age group might know his type of coins, they might not. You could say sort the nickels from the dimes or sort the quarters from the pennies. You can really assess that client per client, whatever they are able to do. You can also do it by size, say sort out, find me the biggest coins or find me the smallest coins. And that can also be transferred into cards, find me the red cards, find me the black cards. Stuff like that, whatever is getting him to stay sitting and attending to this one task. You can also set a timer if it's taking him too long, say sort this for 30 seconds or so on and so forth. Okay, and so now I'll talk about the outcomes of these activities and the rationale for why I chose these activities. There's 3 outcomes that I decided upon from the occupational therapy practice framework. The first one is improvement, which is increase occupational performance through adaptation when a performance limitation is present. So Jacob's going to increase his ability to attend to a task, especially in the school setting. And the performance limitation that was present was his decreased attention to task. The second outcome is participation, which is engagement in desired occupations in ways that are personally satisfying and congruent with expectations within the culture. So Jacob's participation in school will increase to enhance his occupational performance in a school setting with his learning and increase his peer engagement. And that ultimately leads to the last outcome, which is role competence, which is the ability to effectively meet the demands of the roles in which one engages. So in this case, Jacob's role is being a student. And part of being a student and a child in society is following through and attending to one task and having meaningful connections with peers. So once Jacob can successfully meet these goals, he will have role competence. And that's all.